Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new chapter of Old Man Brad. Whether you are new to the show or returning for another episode, thank you so much for giving me a listen. If you love the show, drop me a review over on your favorite podcatcher, whether that's Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, wherever you listen to podcasts. I would love to hear what you think of the show. Well, this week we're going to have 2 episodes dropping for you. First, today, I'm going to give you my thoughts on the new French horror film, Pandemonium. And then coming later in the week, my buddy Gerald from 2 P's on a Podcast, we are going to talk In a Violent Nature. Before we jump into Pandemonium, I want to say if you live in the Cincinnati area, come out to Frightful Fridays on the 3rd Friday of the month. I host a horror movie, and our screening for June is the Italian horror movie Paganini Horror. June 21st, 10 p.m. I am so excited to screen this one at the Esquire. Tell all your friends, tell everybody, come out, let's watch a movie together. All right, it's time. Let's talk Pandemonium.
On pense toujours avoir la vie devant soi jusqu'à ce qu'elle s'arrête. La vie après la mort existe. Je suis vraiment mort alors? S'il devait y avoir un doute, je crois qu'il n'y en a plus. C'est le passage vers l'autre monde. On va aller dans un bel endroit et tout ira très bien. Viens.
Vous allez tous les deux aller en enfer pour ce que vous m'avez fait.
After realizing he has died at the scene of a car crash, Nathan descends into the depths of hell, where he is doomed to experience the pain of tortured souls along the way. This movie is written and directed by Quarks, and it stars Hugo Dillon as our main character, Nathan. I knew pretty much zero about this movie before I went in, and as I always do, I'm going to kind of skirt around any spoilers that may be throughout the film. I'll try not to give any. If I do, I'll let you know beforehand, but I'm going to keep this pretty much spoiler-free. So just like the description said, this man, Nathan, it starts off, he wakes up in the middle of a road, and he gets up and he sees, this car crash, what is going on, and then another man, he's kind of sitting off the side, comes out, his name's Daniel, and he starts talking to him, and they start talking about this crash. He was driving a motorcycle, and this happened, and he's telling him about he's dead. This opening scene I thought was fantastic. Like the cinematography in this, because they're on this curved road. It's kind of gray, it's gloomy, and throughout their discussion, it starts to snow, and it gets harder and harder, and it feels like it's, the snow just kind of collects. It's getting colder out there. And then eventually we have 2 doors open up. You have a light door where the man Daniel says he hears harps and trumpets and this beautiful music. And then these dark double gates, they're almost like big steel doors open. And Nathan is like, I don't hear the music. All I hear over here is screams and torment. You have this heaven and hell door. A few things happen. I'm not going to give all of the story that happens here at the beginning, but this opening scene is beautiful. Like I said, the cinematography is fantastic. The way it is shot is just fantastic. The 2 characters interacting with each other. Because I started this movie a couple times because I was like, oh, okay, I'm just going to put this on. I'm going to watch it. And then I went, oh, crap, this is like really sucking me in. So I have something that I need to do. I'm going to have to come back to this. So I had to wait and come back to it because this opening scene completely just sucked me in. And then you go on this ride with a few other stories. What I didn't know is this is, in a way, an anthology film. You're getting this opening scene with Nathan, Daniel, and stories that they've told, like Nathan doesn't believe he's dead at first, and then he does, and he's like, I don't want to go through this door. I don't want to live in hell forever, or I want to go through this door. And then you get these stories, these tortured souls that Nathan comes across, and it shows their story of what happened to them and why they are dead, and draws you into this first story is a child that kills her parents and everything that kind of happens. Like, this whole movie deals a lot with different ways people die, different ways people deal with death, deal with family, deal with stress. I mean, everything. I absolutely love Pandemonium. And there are many different dark stories in here and dark themes in here. One of the big ones that I picked up, especially this first story with this girl and her parents, and then the second story, it dealt with bullying and a mom who didn't listen to her daughter. So for me, it really hit this family side of how you treat your children, how, like the second story, a teenage daughter, she's being bullied, but her mom's always too busy for her, always got to keep going. And then something happens, and then her mom doesn't want to believe what happened. And the way she deals with the situation, it takes her on a even darker path leading to an end. The story with the child and her parents, they are abusive. They talk down to her. They don't support her. And seeing this side of the parentals, as a parent of two children, it really made me think of, do I need to spend more time with my kids? Do I need to listen to them more? Because there are many times, especially as I was watching this, I was like, oh, you know what? There are times that my boys come to me with things, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I got this going on. It really made me think of like, oh, I need to listen to my kids more. And then you have this story of Nathan as you're going through, of he's in hell. He's kind of in this eternity of torture and despair, and he's trying to explain like, no, I should not be down here because of this and this. And the demons that are down below don't want to listen to him. Each story kind of almost has a different feel to it, a different style. They're very similar, but different. And then you go to hell, and it's another style that's a little different that I really, really enjoyed. But like I said, it is, as I'm talking about, it is tough to talk about this without giving some things away of the stories, because you get these multiple stories, but Nathan's story is the one that kind of weaves through everything of this darker side of being a good person, thinking you were being a good person, but you did something bad that ultimately sends you somewhere you don't want to be. This movie really made me think, like I said, with my children and families. It really did a good job of showing different sides of grief, of mental illness, of decisions that we make in life and things happen. I mean, there's one guy that thinks he's going to heaven, and because of a situation that happens, he ends up in hell because somebody dies. The style of it, the way it's shot, the characters that we have. I mean, there are monsters throughout this. There are demons in it. There are a lot of different pieces that I absolutely loved at this movie. As I was trying to rate it, I think it's going to hit a 4 out of 5 for me because of the themes, the way this story was told. Everybody needs to seek out Pandemonium, go check it out, and let me know what you think of it. See if it kind of hits you the same way it did for me. Like I said, the first 25 minutes of this movie is just a lot of dialogue with these two men on a road as they're trying to figure out what's happening, what's next, how do we get out of here, where do we go? And it absolutely captured me and hooked me in for the rest of these stories. that you go through, because after this one, it's more of a dark comedy, weird story. Next one's a little more heartbreaking, serious, and then we just kind of hit it all home with the, at the end. So yes, go check out Pandemonium. You can rent it anywhere you get films digitally, whether that's, Apple TV, Amazon Prime, Vudu, any of those, but go check it out. Absolutely, highly, highly recommended from me. Besides Pandemonium, which you should definitely go check out, I have one movie that you should also watch at home, and that is on Tubi, and it is Killer Body Count. This is a Tubi original that is just so much fun. It is comedic, it's serious, it's kind of like a mix of like a Scream with a Slumber Party Massacre with all different things, and it's just a fun film. It is directed by Danishka Esterhazy, who also did the Slumber Party Massacre remake, and she also did the Banana Splits movie, which I love both those, especially the Banana Splits movie. It is completely underrated that everybody should see. But Killer Body Count, another solid Tubi original out there, and Tubi is killing it with the originals. I can't say this enough, between Slay, Lowlifes, Festival of the Living Dead, they're stepping their game up, and they have some great films that have come out recently. So kudos to Tubi and the Tubi originals. Go check out Killer Body Count. Well, that will do it for another chapter of Old Man Brad. Just subscribe to the show, and you'll never miss any episode that comes out, whether it's Old Man Brad or my series Tales from Tubi. I will be back later this week with my buddy Gerald from Two Peas on a Podcast, as we are going to talk In a Violent Nature. Let me tell you, that movie is going to have some stuff we're going to talk about. Oh boy, it is. Whew, it's interesting. Just snuggle up in that blanket, turn off the lights, because it's okay to be scared. We'll talk to you later, everybody.